start. Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start. Are you ready for the stream to start? Stream is about to start.
Am I live? Am I live? Hello, everybody. Tony Boydell, a very impatient man. How are you? Are you well? So my guitar is going to sound funny-ish this evening because my guitar's going to sound funny today because I've realised since I started playing it through my mixer for this stream, the battery, it eats batteries unbelievably quick. So, and I've just got back from Prague because I was in Prague yesterday, and I've got no battery. So it's the mic here that'll be picking up the guitar this evening. Kabuki Kid asks me, did I get my electric? No, not yet. It's on pre-order, so I get it in September. Excuse me, just drinking. It's so funny because, well indeed. So yeah, I'll get it in September. I'm very excited, and I'm all planning already. I'm buying some pedals for it. I'm looking at amps. And I'm not going to go for a Fender amp now because I looked at the solid state Fender amps that are under 500 and they're all crap. So I think I'm going to go with, let me look, which one did I decide to go with? It's still basically a practice amp, but it's a Blackstar Debut 50. It's not going to be a modeler. No, I'm not going to go for a modeler. I'm going to go for an analog. I prefer that. And you can get the same sort of... performance as a modeling amp a lot cheaper, basically. Who's a Judas? For what? So it's Friday night. It's Friday night. It's the first time I've done a stream on Friday night. If people think this is a better night to stream, just pop in the comments, let me know. Because usually I have Fridays off. I'm going to muck around with this, I think. It's in my face. Give me a second. Chat. I can do that. And then I can do this. There we go. It just shows the chat there and I can highlight it. That's better, isn't it? Chat is on my face. Yes, it is. I think I've moved it off my face now. Yeah, so basically, if people think Friday night, usually Friday night is quite clear for me. So if you think Friday is a better night to stream, let me know. It'd be very exciting. Give me a second. All right, so I am going to play a song now. And if you've got any questions about anything, give me a second. I keep running out of things. So, I'm going to play a song now. The chat is micro. What does that mean? Yeah, the chat is like that's just like Atmos in the corner, and then I will highlight things as it goes. Yeah, so I'm going to play a song. If you've got any questions, just pop the questions in the chat. I'm up for answering anything. I've just got back from Prague. You can ask me about my trip to Prague if you want. You can ask me about current affairs. You can ask me about how excited I am that I finally registered for postal votes, because last year, surprisingly, the Conservative government, maybe the only good thing the Conservative government did, is they allowed foreign people to vote again if they've lived out of the country for 15 years. So I've registered to postal vote. It's been accepted, so I'll be able to vote in the election. Now I just need to work out who to vote for to get the Tories out. So I'm going to play a song quickly. Give me a second. Oh, my computer's doing funny things. Hang on. Okay, I'm going to play this. This is a Pavement song. I absolutely love it. It's one of their more sort of low-key tunes and less zany tunes, but it's just so good. And it doesn't get a lot of... It's really weird. Pavement are really weird because their highest streamed tune is like a minor B-side. It's so weird. Anyway, but this is Zurich is Stained by Pavement, and it's brilliant. I can't sing it strong enough, that kind of strength I just don't have. With a watch the light change to hold then hanging. You think it's easy, but you're wrong. I am not one half of the problem. Zurich is stained and it's not my fault. Just hold me back or let me run. Sha-la-la-la-la, la-la-la-la-la. So what does it mean, a mistake or two? Kind of mistakes no one can trace to the fountain where we sold it and held them hanging. You think it's easy, but you're wrong. I am not one half of the problem. Zurich is stained and it's not my fault. Just hold me back or let me run. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. It's a short one, but it's an absolutely brilliant one. Anyway, that's Pavement. It's a cracking tune. I'm very excited because I just got back from Prague, where I went to see Chino Moreno's side project Crosses last night, and it was absolutely fantastic. Honestly, the best gig I've been to in ages, and I can highly recommend Crosses. And they're very good. Okay, so I'm going to get the admin-y stuff out of the way first. So, first thing, 5G4D. What have we done recently? So, Monday, we had Ellie Dix, and it's interesting that Tony is in the chat because he suggested Ellie Dix, I hadn't really thought about interviewing her, but I did, and it was super interesting, so I highly recommend that. Wednesday released on the main feed, just a sample, but for the Patreon backers, our battle report of Village Rails, and it's an interesting one because, yeah, I think there was some sort of disagreement about whether the game is any good or not on it, so it was interesting. And then Thursday, I released an interview with Volker Runke, renowned wargame designer, about the current Kickstarter for Hunt for Blackbeard, which seems really interesting. It's a 45-minute Volker Runke game, so it's going to be super interesting, I think. Yeah, so there's that. YouTube's been a bit quiet apart from the stream, but Sunday or Monday, just because I've been away and I've had a lot of work dumped on my desk. The thing about being a freelancer is either you've got nothing to do or you've got everything to do. I'm doing my review of Unmatched Slings and Arrows. It's all written. I just need to film it and edit it now. Really good. That's a spoiler. I really enjoyed it. I was surprised by Unmatched. I'm not a skirmish game fan. I just wanted to play it because of the Shakespeare theme, and I was surprised. I really enjoyed it. Goes without... So, also next week we'll be releasing a hashtag channel show, which is a show about comments on the Discord. And if you want to join the Discord, you can go to 5gfd.com, hit the pinned post, go there. It's the best Discord on the internet. Super cool. I have to say this. I cringe every time, but I have to say it. I'm now monetized on YouTube, so you can super chat me if you want. If you like the songs, or you like the stream, or you just want to help support the channel, and you don't back the Patreon, you can super chat. Yeah, or you can help 5G4D on the Patreon, like young Tony Budell here, who is incredibly generous to me, and that's patreon.com/5G4D. And it's good, I think. So I'll get back to answering your questions. I'll first answer this one because it's here in front of me. Are you battle reporting Foothills? Yes, done. Edited, uploaded, but I release the battle reports every 2 weeks, so it's in the schedule. It's coming out in July sometime. And spoilers, Foothills is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't played, this is Tony and Ben Bateson's two-player Snowdonia, and it is really good. It's a really knotty, clever, engrossing two-player Snowdonia experience. It has the DNA of Snowdonia, but it feels like a very different prospect. So, like, I love Le Havre. And Le Havre is such a great two-player game. I don't see any bloody point in having the inland port, the Le Havre two-player. But this one is a viable, exciting, tense, really clever two-player version of Snowdonia. It has all of that kind of bite that Tony's designs are famous for. It's not entirely nice. But also, Ben Bateson's card-flipping mechanic is really, really great. And it really, knowing when to do what action, to arrange future actions, and trying to maximize getting all your cards flipped, it's super good. If you haven't played Foothills, I highly recommend it. It's absolutely brilliant. Okay, so let's get to some questions before I do some rating. So I want to ask Ben if he missed being at UKGE this year. So it's a good question. So firstly, Tony, pop down in the comments what you thought. You were there this year. What you thought of UKGE. So the short answer is no, not one bit really. Long answer is, so first of all, I may be way off here, and please feel free to correct me if I am, but I don't feel like UKGE really gives much of a monkey's about its attendees. It's at the NEC in Birmingham, which is out of the town centre of Birmingham, and the hotels double, triple the prices for UKGE. That really leaves a bad taste in my mouth. If I could afford it, I'd still feel funny about going. Just because, and it doesn't feel to me, and I don't know whether they can or not. I mean, bear in mind, I don't know whether they can, but it doesn't feel like UKGE really care that that's a fact, right? I guess a lot of people drive in or whatever. So it's not a convention. It's not a convention. So from that point of view, that I feel hugely welcome at, particularly. Essen is different in the if you stay at the hotels near the convention, they're ludicrously expensive, but the Messezentrum in Essen, the public transport is brilliant. You can stay somewhere in town, and it's not all sort of based there. I feel like when I've been to the UKG, I want to be at the UKG, right? Secondly, I go to Essen every year. I spend quite a bit of money at Essen. Essen is the centre of the board game hobby. UKGE is a sort of mid-sized convention, and I go to Berlin Brettspielcon, which isn't quite as big, but gives me everything UKGE would give me, and is on my doorstep, and I don't have to spend tons of money. So, and then, if I go to a convention, so I will go to any convention that's near to me because I love them, but UKGE just isn't unique enough. It feels small. It feels like a small Essen, and it's not as good as Essen, and it's not exciting. So, and also, I'll go to Tony's convention in December because it's brilliant and it's all focused on games. It's very small and it's all people I know. It's like a family. I'll go to LaRiaCon because it's heaven on earth. I go to RageCon, firstly because they invite me, and secondly it's in America and that's exciting. But UKG doesn't. I've been. It's fine. I had fun. It's not my favourite convention though. And it's not a convention. What I would say, I haven't been to Gen Con, so I can't say, but Gen Con strikes me as a convention that is really worth going to, even if you don't live in America. UKGE, I'm sure it's great, but if you don't live in Britain, I don't think it's worth the travel, personally. Did I see Furiosa? Yes, I did see Furiosa. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, though. Fury Road is so good. Fury Road is just bottled adrenaline. It is relentless from second one to the end of the film. It's just a small lull in the middle so you can take a breath and then back at it. It is a masterpiece. Maybe the best action film ever made, I think, Fury Road. Furiosa is... The first 40 minutes are sleep-making. Her story as a child, it's so boring. The rest of it has some good moments, but he falls on CGI more than he did in Fury Road, and there's some terrible CGI in Furiosa. I was really disappointed by that. The big villain from Fury Road is in Furiosa, but he died in 2020, so it's another actor, and for some reason he just doesn't have the gravitas. So that's a problem. And what's his face? I'm terrible with names. Give me a second. Chris Hemsworth. So the reason Mad Max works, especially Fury Road in my eyes, the reason it works is that it's absurd. The script is absurd, but you play it as straight as possible. You don't wink. You don't do a comic performance. You play it intense and you play it straight. And if you do that, it works so well, especially if there's good actors. Chris Hemsworth is constantly winking and mugging at the camera. It feels like he's in a different movie. And it sounds like I really hated it. I didn't really hate it. But, if you've seen Fury Road, then you see Furiosa. I thought Anya Taylor-Joy was really good. She was really convincing. And I see now why he cast a younger actress, because she is young in it. So, yeah, I didn't hate the love story. The person I went to see it with said they really hated the love story. Didn't really bother me. I thought it was fine, an average action movie. But the problem is Fury Road is such a high bar, right? Trump is telling his followers to vote by mail. I guess his complaining about them should not be forgotten. Oh, he's such a bellend, isn't he? This isn't a political stream, but he's such a bellend, Trump. I mean, just like in every conceivable way, he's a bellend. And also, the way he's talking at the moment is that, you know, he's throwing out some real authoritarian shit, right? And the thing is, I don't understand why, you know, people are complaining about Trump. I mean, he's just, it's just, he's a bellend. He's the biggest bellend in world politics. And I come from a country in which Nigel Farage has just announced he's running. And Trump's a bigger bellend than Nigel Farage, if you can imagine. Absolutely nuts. Good question. Pixies or Smashing Pumpkins? The answer is easy for me. It's Pixies. I think the first two Pixies albums are bona fide masterpieces. I think I probably like Doolittle more than I like Surfer Rosa, but it's not much between it. R.I.P. Steve Albini produced Surfer Rosa. Bone Machine is amazing. I'm burnt out on Where Is My Mind, unfortunately, because I've heard it so many times. But Smashing Pimpkins. But Siamese Dream, I remember. So when I was at school, a mate of mine did a tape. He taped things, and on one side was the first Jamiroquai album. The second side was Siamese Dream, and he just threw Siamese Dream on. I just wanted him to do, because it was When Too Young to Die by Jamiroquai came out, and I'm telling you, I went to a festival once, and Arcade Fire were headlining, Pulp were headlining, and Jamiroquai were headlining over the 3 nights, and Jamiroquai knocked all three of them out the park. All the rest of them so self-serious, whereas Jamiroquai were amazing, put on a hell of a show. But it had Siamese Dream on the other side, and he just put it on, and I didn't ask me or anything, just had space, so he just put Siamese Dream on the other side. Siamese Dream blew me away. And I never really followed them after Siamese Dream for some reason, even though I loved Siamese Dream so much. I like Bullet with Butterfly Wings. My biggest problem with Smashing Pumpkins is I don't think he's a very good singer at all. He has a very whiny voice. But 1979, what a tune. Oh, there, he corrected himself, Smashing Pumpkins. But Pixies. Hey by the Pixies is one of the best songs ever written. Yoko Ono or Linda McCartney? Easy answer. Easy answers. Linda McCartney every day. When it comes to the Beatles, I'm a McCartney fan all the way. I mean, you know, Lennon and McCartney both wrote brilliant songs, but if you go back and you look over the Beatles canon, most of the good rockers, Helter Skelter, Paperback Writer, are Paul McCartney. He wrote most of the good rockers. He had the best voice by miles. He was the best musician by miles. He could play everything. He was as good a guitarist as anyone in the band. He was as good a drummer as Ringo. He was, you know, a complete genius. And then if you listen to Ram, Paul McCartney's second solo album, Linda McCartney does a lot of backing vocals on that. And she's credited as the artist on it too. It's Paul McCartney and Linda McCartney. And she has a particular kind of voice that is quite harsh, but it's used brilliantly in Ram. And if you've not listened to Ram by Paul McCartney, it is an absolutely flawless album. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And Linda McCartney is great on that. Whereas Yoko Ono, like I love the B-52s, and I watched an interview with them, and they said part of the reason they started the B-52s was because they were all Yoko Ono fans. And I was thinking, what are you bloody fans of? You know, I mean, I don't know a lot, but, you know, there's that famous recording of when they did a jam. Lennon and Yoko Ono did a jam with Frank Zappa. And you can really see the difference between virtuoso musicians and brilliant songwriters. John Lennon was not a virtuoso musician, so they played one blues song, and then they couldn't really improvise because you're surrounded by like the cream of musicians in Zappa's band. And John Lennon, one of the greatest songwriters of all time, not one of the greatest musicians. So he was a sit at home, write a song, rehearse a song, play a song. He wasn't a I know the ins and outs of my instrument to such a degree that anyone plays anything, I can improvise. And then you have just Yoko Ono doing a screaming thing, and it's like, oh, not a fan. How much of a haul is Prague for you? Not far, 4 hours on the bus. And Prague, I haven't really spent, and it's only 4 hours, and I really haven't spent any time there. It's great. It was beautiful. The weather was great. The venue was amazing for crosses. The sound was amazing, and often you go to venues and the sound's not great. But for crosses, it was brilliant. And I'm a really big Deftones fan. And Crosses, if you don't know, is Chino Moreno from Deftones' side project. And he's a real rock star. So there was a support band, and they're a kind of dream pop, goth dream pop sort of band. And they were good, actually. They weren't bad, but then you saw the difference when Chino Moreno came on and started singing. I mean, he's a real rock star, and he did a hell of a show. 90 minutes of real cardiovascular exercise on his part. His voice sounded great. And if you ever get a chance to see Crosses, all of you who live in America, I guess they would play in America a lot more than they play in Europe. Go and see them. They're absolutely excellent. Is Checkpoint Charlie now a Berlin tourist attraction? Yes, has been for decades. If you go to Checkpoint Charlie, there are people dressed as Russian guards, people dressed as American guards. You could have your photo taken with them. And it's really weird, right? Because Checkpoint Charlie is one of the most significant places in the world in the 20th century. And I used to work down the road from Checkpoint Charlie. And so every morning I would cycle through Checkpoint Charlie. And it gets to the point, so much stuff happened there. But it gets to a point where it's just completely normal and you don't really think about it. And so I would cycle through Checkpoint Charlie every day, and it was only occasionally I'd sort of lift my head and go, bloody hell, I'm cycling through Checkpoint Charlie. And so it's fascinating. It's fascinating. And going around Prague was interesting, just because Berlin is such a big and open city, and Prague is full of little country, little lanes, and yeah, fascinating. Go to Berlin, go to Prague. I've already answered that, yes. And you'll love it, Tony. You'll love the battle report for Foothills. Both of us are very excited by it. Any current video game loves? What's an all-time favourite video game of yours? Okay, so at the moment, and I haven't finished it, and I just need to go back to it and finish it, Pentiment is absolutely astonishing. It is set in the 1400s, just after Luther. And it's a murder mystery set over, and it goes over a span of kind of 100 years. And it is so good. And it's a point and click, but a really clever point and click that tells you such a great story. Pentiment is amazing. I highly recommend it. And it's not expensive. I think it's like 20 quid. I got it on the Switch, but it's like 20 quid, I think. And if you like good stories, although I read something today that A Wolf Among Us 2 might be coming out. And there was this company that did the Walking Dead video games, and they did a number of narrative video games, and The Wolf Among Us was the best of the lot. And so hopefully The Wolf Among Us 2 is going to be a continuation of that. And I might go back and play through Wolf Among Us again. And before I play Wolf Among Us 2, because it really was absolutely brilliant, Wolf Among Us. Ah, yes. Hang on. I'll go back to the top of a minute. Yes, Wolf Among Us 2 is coming. Telltale was the old company. That's it, Telltale. And, yeah, Wolf Among Us was so good. So on the UKGE, I love demoing Snowdonia, new stuff, but bumping into pals was a pretty hollow experience otherwise. Yeah, I feel like that about new product, desperately dull and derivative. I mean, I wonder. I don't know. I'm playing a lot of good stuff at the moment that is new, and I've got this. God, it's heavy. From Uli, I got that the other day. El Burro. I'm very excited to play that. Oh yeah, I was going to mention that actually. So at the moment, I'm currently doing some work for Uli for Epos, which is the sequel to Gentis, which is much bigger and is a narrative sort of campaign game. And so I've got a lot of sort of the backstage stuff from Epos, and I'm doing the video for it. And yeah, it's looks really cool. I haven't played it, but 5G4D are doing a series of sponsored battle reports for Epos that we will release on the main feed. So we will play through all the campaigns, so you'll get a view. And just to say, I will declare it is sponsored by Spielworks, which means, so the battle reports, if you get on the Patreon and listen to them, they're first impressions of games, unless we've played them a lot in the past and we just haven't battle reported them yet. This one will be sponsored content, which comes with caveats, but before people go, oh, you're a sellout, this is a job for me, and there are certain things I need to do for money, and also, and if I do, I declare that. So, just say. Yes, Dave Moser says that Donald Trump is the biggest bellend in any field in human history. Yeah, so, as a bellend, yes, I would say. I think there are people who are worse than Trump, but yeah, as a bellend, no question. He's just a total bellend. So I've got a couple of questions from the Discord. Bear with me a second. Then I'm going to play a song. Then I'm going to rate my games. Give me a second. Live stream channel. Do. Give me a second. So, City Hunter asked, pie or sausage roll? Pie. How is that even a question? Crumbed or battered? Battered is better. Like, I live in Germany, the home of the schnitzel, which is crumbed, but fish and chips, battered. You get a good beer batter. Unbelievable. Best roast? Lamb. Oh, lamb and mint sauce. And if anyone's got any opinions on these, favourite cheese? Stilton or Roquefort, probably. I love blue cheese. Absolutely amazing. Or Dolce Latte. I used to make an amazing Dolce Latte pasta sauce. And I should make that again. Blue cheese. Absolutely amazing. You get to eat mold. It's brilliant. So this is a bit of a joke question. And if you haven't been seeing the interactions between me and Uli, you might not get it. But your board game design is coming out soon. It isn't. But I'm going to pitch it at Essen. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get... I'm going to RageCon at the end of the month, and I'm hoping that I can get some feedback. I'm going to do a lot of play tests. So who do you hope Ignacy signed to paint or design the box cover? So it's a joke, but I've been thinking I assume when you do this sort of stuff that you think about who you would like to do. And I will tell you, I'm just going to look it up on BGG. Give me a second. Okay, so give me a second. The person who I would like to do the art is this person. And that is the person who did the cover for Sushi Go. My game would be perfect with that art style. Smiling keyboards, because it's about mechanical keyboards. So that's who I would like to do it. I was interested in El Burro, but the box looked big enough for a coconut. It is a big box. And Uli's shown the Epos box, and it's even bigger. It's insane. Games are nuts. Excellent. So I'm going to play a song and then I'm going to rate my games. So I've got to make sure I'm doing that correctly. That needs to go. No. So, I'm going to play this. It's probably going to get my video taken down. But I was listening the other day. To... I'm not a good guitarist. I was listening the other day to Volume 4 by Black Sabbath. And there is a slow song on that album that has been flogged to death over the years, including a terrible version by Ozzy Osbourne and his daughter. But I think it's a wonderful... The lyrics aren't great. You don't go to Sabbath for the lyrics particularly, but I think the song is great. And the chorus, I think, is wonderful. And, Kabuki Kid has guessed it. It's Changes. It's a great tune. So I'm going to play Changes by Black Sabbath. And they're infamous blockers, apparently, so they'll probably take my video down. But, it's here for the stream. I feel unhappy. I feel so sad. I've lost the best friend I ever had. She was my woman. I loved her so. But it's too late now. I've let her go. I'm going through changes. I'm going through changes. We shared the years, we shared each day. In love together, we found a way. But soon the world had its evil way. My heart was blinded, love went astray. I'm going through changes. I'm going through changes. It took so long to realize, and I can still hear her last goodbye. Now all my days are filled with tears. Wish I could go back and change these years. I'm going through changes. I'm going through changes. It's a tune. It's a tune. And if you notice on the lyrics, he blames the world for shagging other women. I love that. But soon the world had its evil way. My heart was blinded. Love went astray. He's basically saying, yeah, you got to blame the world for me shagging other women. Got to blame them. All right. Anyway, so Excellent. Oh, and for Dave Moser, who I know is going to be at... Thank you very much. Dave Moser, who I know is going to be at RageCon this year, me and the estimable Jonathan Pack are going to play a live show at RageCon on the Saturday night. We are going to play a live gig like we did last year, where we'll play loads of indie hits. So you'll get to see me sing live. And last year, my voice collapsed because I still had the jet lags. So that'll be interesting, won't it? All right, so anyway, let's get to rating these games. Now, I'm still working with the OBS, but I think it's good. And I'm going to do that thing here. I'm going to do that thing because I think it's cool, just to remind you all that you can do it. Give me a second. If you whack a load of emojis into the chat box, and then you send the message, the emojis go all over the screen. I think it's amazing. It's amazing. Ah, the world's ending, and we can make emojis go all over the screen. What a world. All right, so where am I? If I go here... Oh, look at that. Like, it's flawless. Like, I'm a flawless computer genius. All right, so... Not so many this week on this shelf. I don't know why. I'm looking at the shelf now. So yeah, as a reminder, we've got Masterpiece, Amazing, Solid, Meh, Crapper the Rapper, and Not Played. So, let's go with the first one. That's Freelancers. So it's a Crossroads game from Plaid Hat. So I think it's a very solid game. I played it. It's enjoyable. It's actually quite funny, and games generally aren't. Big boxes. Why is it not doing it? No. Oh, because I don't have it. I don't have it on the share thing. If I want to highlight a comment, I need to fix that. I need to put the chat into my share screen. Big boxes, no, not particularly. That's the interesting thing. I don't know why. Anyway, yeah, Freelancers is... So the first Crossroads game was Dead of Winter, which is like a game. And I've never had a game that fell off for me as much as Dead of Winter. Like, I played it 2 or 3 times, and it was funny, and it was impactful. It had loads of great moments. And then I played it again, and I suddenly thought, I really hate this. It's the same as Machikoro for me. Like, suddenly I just thought, I hate this. And so but Freelancers is a different thing. You do it through an app, and it tells a good story, and it's not really a game. It's kind of a choose your own adventure thing, but it's really good. I really enjoyed it, and it's funny, and I was surprised. And I was always a big fan of Plaid Hat. When I first got into games, I listened to their podcast a lot. I listened to a lot of board game podcasts, and I listened to them, and I really enjoyed their company because it was indie, you know, and they were really just doing it for themselves. And they brought out some brilliant games. Ashes is great. The other fighty game with the cards, can't remember. Great. And so I was really happy because they got bought by F2Z and then Asmodee, and they kind of lost their soul, I think. But now they're back, and they did the new version of Ashes, which I've got, and yeah, really great. So Crossroads, it's a good one, I think. But it's very much an experience rather than a game. Trajan is an unalloyed masterpiece. So Trajan was like the 3rd game I bought because I was watching a lot of Dice Tower, and that guy Ryan. God, I met him in Essen, and he was not. He said something to me that was incredibly offensive. If you ever see me at a convention, ask me what Ryan from the Dice Tower said to me. It's jaw-droppingly offensive. And for like no reason. And I'm not going to say it live on a public thing. But I was genuinely stunned. I wasn't even angry. I was just stunned at how someone could say something quite so unfeeling and disrespectful. Anyway, but that's not the point. But I was watching a lot of Dice Tower videos, and he was a big advocate of Trajan, so I bought Trajan. And then I played Trajan with 3 computer programmers. Ryan, I don't even know who Ryan is on the Dice Tower. Let me have a look. He was about 10 years ago. Ryan Metzler, his name was, and he back in the day he was there was like him, Z, Tom, and that was kind of it. And so he was on the Dice Tower. I've really got to remember that just shows my browser, and to make sure I don't have terrible things in my browser. Not that I ever would. But, he was talking a lot about Trajan, so I bought Trajan and I played it with a load of computer programmers. And they destroyed me. Like, I was a new gamer, and they destroyed me. Yeah, he wasn't No, this was back in the day where I don't know whether he ever got paid, but this was before Tom had gone full-time with the Dice Tower, right? And so he just had people on the Dice Tower. I don't even know if he got paid, but he did a lot of reviews for them. And, yeah. And so I played it with these... I played it with these computer programmers. And they destroyed me, like lapped me. And, winning and losing, and you shouldn't focus on it. And so I was just I thought, am I really that stupid? And so I put the game on the shelf for years, I think 5 years, until I pulled it back off the shelf again. And I learned a lot more about gaming then, and I loved it. And it is brilliant. It's Stefan Feld's probably second best game. Castles of Burgundy is his best. And it is really great. And it's point salady, but just in a brilliant way. And I would highly recommend anyone to play Trajan if they've got a chance. Taya Menche de Mostvo. People might think this is nuts, but I'm going to put Taya Menche de Mostvo in Masterpiece, because I think it's astonishing. It is the Polish version. It's the Portal version of Mysterium. And I didn't really like the Asmodee version of Mysterium. It was posher, but they'd added more rules and stuff. And Taya Menche de Mostvo was just very straight and streamlined and really great. And it's really thematic and it's a load of fun. And, I think I might take this to game night in the next couple of weeks. I haven't played it in bloody ages and it's brilliant. I love it. I think it's a really great game. Cutthroat Caverns. So I'm going to put that in amazing. I'm really nice to these games. I played Cutthroat Caverns 3 or 4 times because I bought it because I heard an interview on the Dice Tower. So much of, especially these early games that I've got, are on Dice Tower recommendations. And I did not get along with it. And it was not fun. And then I played one game where it clicked. And it's really great. It's kind of unique, kind of unlike anything I've played. And the various mechanisms, it's a really original, refreshing game. I highly recommend playing Cutthroat Caverns if you can. I've got a couple of expansions for it, and it's great, and I need to play it again. Lübeck. Now, Lübeck is designed by... Oh, God, you can see me, can't you? So I've got to remember every time, if I'm looking on other websites, I come to here. I'm going to go to BGG, but still. So Lübeck is by a famous designer. Yes, by Rainer Stockhausen, who designed Orleans and the god-awful Orleans stories. And I've never played it. And the reason I haven't played Lübeck is because I ordered a game. It can't be that good because I ordered a game from a German board game shop and you just got a free copy of Lübeck thrown in. So it's just sitting on my shelf, and I will play it one of these days, I guess. But I haven't to this point. Cave Evil. So I have to say... what am I doing? So Cave Evil. Now, if Mike Fox ever watches this, I will bring Cave Evil to Essen this year. I borrowed it from Mike, and I never ended up bringing it back to him, just through loads of things. But I'm honestly going to put it in the not play, because I played half a game of it and then ended up having a blazing row with Steve, my podcast partner. This was years ago. And just packing the game away and leaving, and just storming out. We had a blazing row, and I can't even remember what it was about. And so I only played half a game. But I like the idea of an indie classic like Cave Evil, and the trailer for Cave Evil, I highly recommend it. Go and watch it. And I really want to play the mushroom game, because without getting too deeply into my past, I had a past where I experienced hallucinogenics, and the Mushroom Eaters is his game, and it would be really fascinating to see if it mimics that in any way. Broom Service. Come on. Broom Service is one of my favourite games. Broom Service is absolutely mind-blowing. It is the best trick-taking game ever made. I absolutely adore it. When Alexander Pfister is designing lighter games with the other guy whose name I can't remember offhand, he is absolutely brilliant. It is so good. It is so entertaining. It's so easy to learn. It's so engaging. I've never played a bad game of this. Broom Service is absolutely amazing. It is a bona fide masterpiece, and I recommend everybody play it. And you can buy it for like 20 quid now. And it is brilliant. I played the card game. It's not near as good, but Broom Service is brilliant. Broom Service is rage in a box. Yeah. You can get really angry playing it, but it's so much fun. It's so much fun. I love it. I love Broom Service. And I will never not love it. High Rise. So I'm going to put High Rise here. Now, where are you going? High Rise by Gil Hover. Gil is an absolutely amazing designer. All of his games are great. This one is really good. And it wasn't received particularly well for whatever reason. I don't understand, but I have it on my shelf and I'm happy to have it. I want to play it again. It's a really clever, really accessible game. I love High Rise. And as Kabuki Kid says, Gil is a good guy too. Yeah, we used to regularly meet at Essen. And as he's not in games anymore, unfortunately, we don't get to see each other. But yeah, good guy. And it's a shame he's not making games anymore. Maybe one day. Wordsmith. This is a word game designed by the people who did Cosmic Encounter, and I'm embarrassed to say I haven't played it. And I need to play it. And I will. And Baron Voodoo. I haven't played this either. Now, I have a good excuse for this. I got this at Essen, but it only had French rules, and I don't speak the French. And so I never got around to playing it, but it has English rules online now, and people say it's great. So if you've played Baron Voodoo, let me know in the comments. But I will play it at some point. It's just there's so many bloody games out there, isn't there? You know what I mean? There's how many bloody games? Right, I'm going to play one more song. I guess I should take it as a compliment that YouTube demonetizes my streams because I play cover versions. And they must sound fairly close. Word games can be tough to get to the table. Most people I play with have no interest. Yeah, I get it. Totally. I think the deck builders from Tim Fowers are good. I think Wordsy is great. And I said this last week, or the last time I did a stream, but the guy I interviewed who's coming up on 5G4D said you should treat Scrabble like an area-controlled war game, not like a word game. And it's all like controlling spaces, and then you'll enjoy it. Yeah, if your covers were bad, maybe the AI mods wouldn't pick them up. Or you play super indie stuff. I've only played one song tonight that'll get me demonetized. I mean, not that I make any bloody money anyway, but I am going to play a Silver Dunes song. I played a Purple Mountain song last week. I'm going to play a Silver Dunes song this week. If you've got any questions for the last 5 minutes of the stream after I finish playing this song, just pop them in the chat and I'll answer them. And then I'm absolutely knackered because I've been travelling back from Prague all day. So then I'm going to go to bed because it's 10 o'clock here in the Germany. Okay, give me a second. There's no capo on this, is there now?
I wrote a letter to a wildflower on a classic nitrogen afternoon. Some poet hardly looked like power said I'm perfect in an empty room. 4 dogs in the distance, each stands for a kindness, yeah. Bluebirds lodged in an evergreen altar. I'm gonna shine out in the wild silence. I'm gonna shine out in the wild silence. I'm gonna shine out in the wild silence and spurn the sin of giving in. Oil paintings of X-rated picnics behind the walls of medication and free. Every leaf in a compact mirror hits a target that we can't see. Grass grows in the icebox. The year ends in the next room. It is autumn and my camouflage is dying. Instead of time, there will be lateness. Instead of time, there will be lateness. Instead of time, there will be lateness. And let forever be delayed. Void, met the coroner at Dreamgate Frontier. He took my hand and said, I'll help you, boy, if you really want to disappear. 4 dogs in the distance, each stands for a silence, yeah. Bluebirds lodged in an evergreen altar. I'm gonna shine out in the wild kindness. I'm gonna shine out in the wild kindness. I'm gonna shine out in the wild kindness and hold the world to its words.
There we go. Highly recommend American Water by the Silver Dunes. An absolutely splendiferous album. Love that you're getting into Unmatched with a Shakespeare set. Not sure if I missed anything about it earlier in the stream, but I'm excited to hear your thoughts. Yes, you did miss something about it in the stream. My review will be coming out Sunday on Monday. It's all written. I just need to record it and edit it. But spoiler, I really enjoyed it. Dave Moser asks, when are you going to schedule a game or two at RageCon so I can get a seat? Got an email from the events coordinator at RageCon. We're sorting it out this weekend. I've been very slack, but it will be done by the end of the weekend. You'll be able to register. You and famed board game designer Isaac Shalev are asking if they can play some games with me. I think I'm doing a Blood on the Clock Tower. I think I'm doing a Thunder Road. I think I'm doing a Skull King, and hopefully, don't tell him, I hope he doesn't jump in on it because he's much better than me. I'm also doing a Through the Ages. So, yeah. And I'm also demoing my prototype. So you can join in for all of that. I'd love to try the Shakespeare set. What's great, and I say this in the review, but what's great is it's really thematic too. I was surprised at how much it feels like the characters they're portraying, because I know a little bit about Shakespeare. And I played with Steve, who's a Shakespeare scholar, and I was really surprised at how thematic it was and how plausible they were as characters. I really, really enjoyed it. And so I would highly recommend it. And I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed Unmatched. I think what it does brilliantly is it has dirt simple base rules, and then you level on the special powers of the characters, and that really works. And it's not fiddly, it's simple, it plays quickly, but it's engaging, it's balanced really well, it goes down to the wire every time. I was super impressed. With Unmatched. I wasn't sure I was going to like it. And so anyway, thank you so much for watching the stream. I think I might probably do these on Fridays now for a number of reasons. One, Germany has rules, and playing the guitar past 10 o'clock during the week is illegal if I do it loud. But on Fridays it's 12 o'clock, so it's not an issue. I think people find the schedule good, so I'm going to do that. I'm getting to the end of my game shells. No, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm not. 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks left. I'm not getting to the end at all. So I've got 9 weeks left of shelves, and then after that, I might do my top 100 on the stream, because I did videos for it, but that was like last year, and I don't see it as a point in doing it top 100 every year as videos on the YouTube channel. So if you use headphones for your electric guitar, yes, the amp I have has a headphones. The amp I'm getting has a headphones thing, so I'm going to do that. And I finished writing a song actually this week. I write a lot of riffs and I write a lot of first verses and never get much further than that usually, but I actually finished writing a song. I might play it on next week's stream. It's a bit of an acoustic banger. Anyway, so thank you ever so much for watching. Have a lovely weekend. Play loads of games and that. I won't, because I've got loads of work, because I'm doing loads of work for EPOS, but that's good. Work is good. And I'll see you, funky dudes, next week.